Hello guys, good morning. If you can hear me, let me see your comments. Let's get started immediately. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. If you can hear me, let me know in the comments section. Let's get started immediately. Good morning guys. All right, so let's get started immediately, right? You are welcome back to our Saturday live session. If you're new to this live session, you are absolutely welcome. On this channel, we teach different strategies to trade synthetic indices and other financial markets, even if you're a beginner. And every Saturday, we come up to do live session just to see what is happening in the market and how we can take advantage of the market. So how we used to do it is that you're going to drop the asset you want me to make analysis on in the comment section, right? You're going to drop it in the comment section, and the most mentioned one is what I am going to be making analysis on. However, I am going to be starting with the first one that I am looking at, right? So I'm going to be picking 3 to 4 in the comment section for analysis. So let's get started immediately guys. Let's get started. So I'm going to be starting with the first one, volatility 51s. That is the asset I am currently on the outlook for. Currently, right? I am currently on the outlook for it. And if you've always come to the live session, you are absolutely welcome again guys. I'm so sorry we could not hold last week, but here we had this week again. So let's get started immediately. Now, what are we going to look at on volatility 51s? So the first thing we're going to be doing is that we're going to be going on higher time frame just to see what market is producing on the higher time frame, and that is what is going to lead to our lower time frame decision. So what do we have on the higher time frame? What is the higher time frame saying? This is 24 hours time frame, and our last break of structure, let's see what is happening here. This is a high. This is a high. This is it here, and you can see that we had it swept. It was only swept, not taken. It was not broken. So after the sweep, we had a change of character to the downside. So this is a change of character to the downside here. A change of character to the downside, which is a showcase that market wants to move in our direction to the downside, based on the fact that we did not have this high broken to the upside. It was just a sweep, and after the sweep we had a change of character to the downside. So market had to come back to take this liquidity here. We had a take of this liquidity, and you can see that market started moving to the downside. We had a change of character. However, let me just mark this our point of interest out. This is the point of interest that market is currently using for that push to the downside. So we had a change of character to the downside here. A change of character to the downside. So after the change of character to the downside, we of course expect market to come back to our internal structure for a sell continuation, because it is very obvious that we are moving to the downside. So this is my first point of interest. That's my first point of interest. It is an interest candle, right? This is an interest candle that I am expecting the market is going to use for that continuation to the downside. And of course, market didn't get there. You can see that we did not peek into that interest candle, but we're going to see what market is currently doing. So let's go to 4 hours time frame and see for ourselves what market is doing. Now on this 4 hours time frame, our last break of structure is to the downside, which is this low. This was our last break of structure to the downside. Based on this break of structure to the downside, we have a liquidity that we are expecting market to come back to raid. And after raiding that liquidity, we want market to, push to the downside. And this is the liquidity we are expecting market to come back to raid. If this liquidity was not there, we would take this high. I'm going to mark that out. We would take this high as a liquidity for market to come back for, so that we can touch into our interest candle properly. You can see that that high didn't really touch into the interest candle properly. But based on what market is delivering on 4 hours time frame right now, and coupled with the fact that we had our last break of structure to the downside from this low, and also to the fact that there is a liquidity for market to come back to take, and aside that liquidity, you can see that we had a fair value gap, right? If you guys are following me, just drop a fire emoji in the comments. So you can see that we had a fair value gap here right after the liquidity has been created. This is the liquidity, this is the fair value gap. So we're expecting market to pick into that fair value gap and at least sell and take out this low. This is the target, the overall target for this particular setup. This is the overall target, this low. So we're expecting it to come back into the fair value gap, sweep this low, and this is what I am currently expecting, guys. I'm expecting a sweep of this low, then market can come up and enter into this interest candle, then we continue to the downside. So that is why I am going to be making analysis based on what we currently have in the market, right? Our last break of structure to the downside. Let's go to 2 hours time frame and see. Let's go to 2 hours time frame and see our change of character. So after market got to this sponsored candle, see this sponsored candle here. After we got to this sponsored candle, this is the sponsored candle here, and you can see it was duly tested. When we got that sponsored candle, market gave us change of character. Change of character. This particular setup, I made analysis on it last night and it is absolutely playing out. After this change of character, this high was created. I think I should go to 30 minutes so that you guys can see exactly what I am saying. Drop a fire emoji if you are still following, guys. Drop a fire emoji. Okay, so we have this change of character to the downside. This is a change of character, and I was expecting market to come back and take this high. I was expecting a take of this high, and immediately after the take, you can see that market gave us a new break of structure. So since this is a new break of structure, we just look for a sell continuation from a good area. Now after the break of structure, market is definitely coming back to our internal structure. So let's check the 15 minutes time frame and see possible point of interest where we can use as that continuation to the downside. So let me see what market is currently giving. So let's see our last break of structure internally. Let's see what market is doing internally. So can you see this? This was our last break of structure internally. This high is the liquidity. We are expecting a takeoff. Can you see? And market has taken that liquidity. So I am definitely looking for a sell setup as soon as possible. So 5-minute time frame. Let's see what 5-minute time frame is giving to us. So this is my change of character, though it has not changed with a body candle, which is going to be like a B setup for me. This has not changed with a body candle, but I am definitely, going in with my sell setup. From here, let me modify that. So sell from here. I'm selling from here, and my stop loss is absolutely really tight. I've gotten a change of character, and my target, I'm going to be targeting this low. This is 1:3, which is absolutely fine for me. So this is what I am currently looking at on volatility 51s. If you can take it, yes, you can. However, do not forget that volatility 51s is volatile. It is volatile. If you have small accounts, stay off. No matter how good the analysis looks, it might still be a losing trade. That is probability. So as much as you are trying to get into the market, do not forget your risk management. So this is what I am currently looking at on volatility 51s currently. Until market proves me otherwise, I am betting on this. So let's go to the next asset. You guys should drop the asset you want us to analyze in the comment section. So I am going to be picking one right now. I'm going to be picking the first one. Which one is the most mentioned? Which one is the most mentioned? We've not had any most mentioned, but okay. About 2 people has mentioned volatility 10. So let's drive straight to volatility 10. Drop the asset you want us to analyze in the comment section. Drop it in the comment section. So let's start with volatility 10. I am going to be back to pick another asset from you guys. So let's go. Volatility 10. So let's go to 24 hours time frame as usual. Volatility 10. Okay, it is super obvious that we are in a downtrend. Like, we are absolutely in a downtrend. See what we had here? A break of structure. A break of structure. Look at that. Market gave us this break of structure. Came back to take this liquidity. Right? Came back to take this liquidity. So we had a change of character, and of course I am expecting a good setup, a good sell setup until market takes this low. So whatever I am doing, I am still looking for a sell setup. Now my last break of structure was this low. Let me say that, right? My last break of structure was this low. This particular one I just marked out, not this, because this is a range structure break for me. So my last break of structure is here, but I cannot enter into the market for a buy or a sell continuation right now until market gives me the proper proof. So I am going to be going to my 4 hours time. So you can see that we have our last break of structure here. This is the last break of structure. And this is the high I am expecting that markets would come back to take. This high. But I cannot tell when market is going to come back there. So we're still going to make analysis based on what market is currently giving us. This is our last break of structure range. Inside the range. So let's check 2 hours time frame and see if there is any liquidity that we are expecting market to come back to raid and make that continuation. So I am expecting market to come back and raid this high first, this particular high. And this is my point of interest. This is my point of interest, absolutely, for this sell continuation. I am expecting market to come back here. Now, however, if market breaks this high, we are coming back to take this high, and we are coming back into this fair value gap. So you should watch out for this. When market gets back into this point of interest I just marked out, I am expecting a confirmation. If that confirmation does not form and then we have a break of this high, market is coming back to read this high and get back into this zone, and that is it for us. So that is it on volatility 10. So let's pick another asset. I'm going to be picking 2 more assets from analysis. So which one is the most mentioned? Volatility 100 1S. So 24 hours time frame. So this is 24 hours time frame. So what is market currently giving us? So this is supposed to be our last break of structure. This is our last break of structure. Market gave us a change of character. We came back to this sponsored candle. So where market is reacting is very valid for a buy. 4 hours time frame. Based on this impulse to the upside. Okay? Based on this impulse to the upside, I am not expecting market to start selling anytime soon, except if we come back into the zone, because according to this current structure, this was the last break. Okay, this was the last break, and since this was the last break, I'm expecting market to take this liquidity. So if we take this liquidity, if we have something like this, and we have a change of character, I'm going to expect that sell. However, what I am currently expecting from the market is the fact that we should continue that buy setup. So you can see that we had our last break of structure to the upside. I'm coming. Our last break of structure to the upside. And you can see that market is reacting at a good point of interest. So let's check 2 hours time frame. Okay, 30 minutes. 30 minutes time frame. So this is what I am expecting on volatility 100 1S. This is a break to the upside already. A break of structure to the upside. This is the liquidity I'm expecting market to take. So I'm expecting market to come back to this fair value gap and use it for a continuation to the upside. So I am looking for a buy continuation from here. Let's have something like this. So that is it for volatility. 101S for me. So let's pick one more asset and we are done for the day. Volatility 75 1S. 75 1S. 24 hours time frame. 24 hours. Our last break of structure was to the downside. See that? So 4 hours time frame, we've established the fact that our last break of structure is to the downside. Now this is expected to be our normal break of structure. Let's check 24 hours time frame again. 24 hours. This is a break of structure. This is expected to be a liquidity. This high. This is a liquidity. So I want to check something on the 4 hours time frame. If we are reacting at a very good zone. So let's see. This is an interest candle, but I do not trust this interest candle based on the fact that we do not have liquidity market came back to take. So the expected liquidity I am waiting for market to take is this high. So whatever sell is happening here is a trick, and you might keep getting into the sell, you keep getting take out, and market will come back to take this liquidity. So currently I am not looking for a sell or buy setup on volatility 75 1S until market takes this particular high. When this high is taken, it can come back to this fair value gap, and this is my point of interest for that. So that is going to be all the analysis I'm going to be making, guys. So if you have a question, drop it in the comments. Drop your question in the comments and let's treat that. Let's see, guys. Drop your question and let us treat your question. Let's see your question. Let's treat the questions. All right, somebody said alpha the copy trading. It is going to be communicated in the group. We're setting everything up, so the communication will be done in the group. Do you trade counter trade? Now for counter trade, if it is on lower time frame, I do not love taking it, but if it is a counter trade from the higher time frame and it has given me a good confirmation, then I am going to be big on that, because of course higher time frame is going to go longer than lower time frame. The retracement is going to be longer than what is going to happen on the lower time frame, and I do not want to wait until market gets to my normal point of interest before I trade. So if the confirmation is there, why not? Your time frame for your entries are on the 30 minutes alone. No, sometimes I use 5 minutes and sometimes I use 15 minutes, depending on the pattern market is giving and depending on where my entry model is forming. That is how I make use of my entry time frame. All right, if there is no more question, we're going to be calling it a day for the live session. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. And I'm going to see you in the next live session on Saturday, 9 a.m. Do not also forget to be joining our daily session on Google Meet, where traders come together and you make analysis by yourself. You network with other traders, see what their view is on different assets. It always happen on Google Meet, and then we send the links to the community. If you're not in the community, check the link in this description and join the community. It happens every day from Monday to Fridays and 10 p.m. Thank you so much, guys, and I'm going to see you in the next